Good morning children. How are you all? Hope you all are doing good. So children, in today's class we are going to start a new lesson. Lesson number 5, the Western Desert. Okay, lesson number 5, the Western Desert. So children, before this we'll see what is a desert. We'll learn what is a desert. A desert is a land covered with loose sands. Okay, it is a flat area covered with loose sands. Okay, so at some places in desert there are some sand hills, okay, which are called as sand dunes. So how the sand hills are formed? So due to the pressure of the wind, when the wind is blowing, this sand is blown along with this wind, okay, and it forms a hill of sand. Okay, so at this we call it as sand dunes. So at some places there are small hill of sands, okay, small hills of sand which are called as sand dunes. And how the sand dunes are formed? With the pressure of the wind. The wind is blowing with the pressure. This wind carry along with it the sand from one place to another. Okay, it carries the sand from one place to another and form a hill of sand. And this we call it as sand dunes. Okay, when strong, hot and dry winds blow, okay, when strong, hot and dry winds blow, they carry along with them, okay, these winds carry along with them sand from one place to another. And these winds, okay, when they carry this sand from one place to another and they form a hill of sand which are called as sand dunes. Okay, so the shape of this sand dunes keep on changing. Okay, the shape and size of the sand dunes keep on changing according to the pressure. Okay, the pressure of the wind. Okay, so in desert area the land is infertile because there is no rainfall. Okay, there is no rainfall or only little rainfall. Okay, so this desert region hardly receives 25 centimeter of rainfall annually. Okay, it receives only little rainfall. This desert region is dry area. Okay, it is barren land throughout the year. Okay, sometimes there is no rainfall at all, or it receives only little rainfall. Okay, and there is little vegetation also. As there is no rainfall, there is no vegetation. We cannot grow plants also there. Okay, so these desert areas are dry areas. Okay, dry areas. So there are only few sources. Okay, there are very few sources of in a desert, few water sources in desert. Okay, so as there is no rainfall, there is no water sources also, but in some places there are few water sources. Okay, so what are they? Most of the desert areas are dry areas. Okay, most of the desert areas are dry areas, but in some places, okay, in some places the groundwater comes up to the land surface. Okay, the groundwater comes up to the land surface forming a pool of water. Okay, so this is called as oasis. Okay, usually the desert will be the dry areas. Okay, there is no rain, so it will be dry areas. Hardly few water sources are there in the desert. So at some places the groundwater, the underground water comes up to the surface of land forming a pool of water, and it is called as oasis. Okay, so around this oasis, around this area, region, okay, the surrounding areas of this oasis is fertile. Okay, so it is fertile, the land is fertile. So most of the villages are situated nearby the oasis because they get water, is it? Otherwise the desert area, it is a large vast area which is covered with sand, is it? And there is no rainfall at all. So only some places we have water sources. So it is oasis. So oasis means the underground water which comes up, okay, which comes up to the land surface forming a pool of water, and we call it as oasis. So this oasis, okay, so this is the form of water which we get in the desert region. Okay, so the underground water comes to the surface through a spring, and this forms a small wet patch of fertile land called an oasis. So they grow, date and palm trees grow here. Okay, date and palm trees are here. So the land around the oasis is fertile. Okay, the land around the oasis region, it is fertile. So because most of the villages are situated near the oasis, so people can grow crops. They grow crops like jowar, bajra, gram and maize around the oasis. Okay, so the people, the most of the villages are situated near the oasis because they get water. So oasis is the place where we get water in the desert region. Okay, the desert is a barren land, is it? And it is not fertile. It is not fertile also because there is less rainfall. They receives only less rainfall and a little vegetation. So oasis is a place where the underground water comes up to the land surface forming a pool of water. Okay, so the place around the oasis, it is fertile. So most of the villages are situated around near the oasis and they grow crops like maize, jowar, bajra, gram around the oasis. Okay, so now we'll see the location of this desert. Okay, this western desert. So this western desert, it lies towards the west of the northern plains. Okay, so we already have learned about the northern plains in the previous class, right? So this western desert lies towards the west of the northern plains, and India has a large desert region towards the west of the Aravalli Hills in Rajasthan. It is located. Okay, so it is located in the state Rajasthan. Okay, Rajasthan. So India has a vast region. Okay, India has a large desert region. India has a large desert region towards the west of the Aravalli Hills. Okay, towards the west of the Aravalli Hills in Rajasthan, this is located. So this is called as the Great Indian Desert. Okay, so this western desert is also called as Great Indian Desert and it is also known as Thar Desert. Okay, so this western desert, we call it as the Great Indian Desert. So this lies towards the west of the northern plains. Okay, it lies towards the west of the northern plains and towards the west of the Aravalli Hills in Rajasthan. Okay, so this is the Great Indian Desert, also known as Thar Desert. It is located towards the west of the northern plains. Okay, and this Thar Desert, it stretches from Rann of Kutch in Gujarat. Okay, so this extends from Rann of Kutch in Gujarat to the borders of Haryana. Okay, so this Thar Desert, it extends from Rann of Kutch in Gujarat to the borders of Haryana. Okay, so it covers about 2,59,000 square kilometer area. Okay, it covers 2,59,000 square kilometer. Okay, it is such vast area, as desert region. Okay, so this Thar Desert, it is located towards the west of the northern plains. Okay, and also it is located towards the west of the Aravalli Hills in Rajasthan. Okay, towards the west of the Aravalli Hills in Rajasthan. So this is also called as the Great Indian Desert. Okay, the Great Indian Desert, also known as the Thar Desert. Okay, Thar Desert. So this Thar Desert, it stretches from Rann of Kutch. Okay, Rann of Kutch in Gujarat to the borders of Haryana. Okay, to the borders of Haryana. It covers the large part of Rajasthan. Okay, it covers most part of the Rajasthan is covered by this Thar Desert. Okay, it covers this Thar Desert, covers the most part of Rajasthan and extends up to Pakistan in the west. Okay, so it covers a large part of Rajasthan and it extends up to Pakistan in the west. Okay, so it is 2,59,000 square desert region. So during the summer, the days are hot. Okay, the days are hot and dry. During the summer, the days are very hot and dry, but the nights are cool and pleasant. Okay, so during the summer, the days are very hot. Why? Because due to the sun rays, the sand, okay, it gets heated up very quickly. Okay, so it is very hot during the summer season, during the daytime, because the sand gets heated up very quickly. So it is very hot during the daytime. But whereas when the sun sets, the sand cools down, and very quickly the sand cools down, the temperature decreases and the sand cools down very quickly, and this makes the night cool and pleasant here. Okay, so the nights however are cool. This is because as I told you that the sand gets heated up quickly due to the rays of the sun, and when the sun sets, it cools down quickly and the temperature decreases. So during summer, hot winds called Loo blow from the desert region towards the state of Uttar Pradesh and Delhi. Okay, so during the summer, hot winds blow from this desert region and we call it as Loo. Okay, so this is hot winds. So during summer, the hot winds from this desert region called Loo blows towards the states of Uttar Pradesh and Delhi. So this increases the temperature of these states. Okay, so during summer season, the hot winds from this desert region, it blows. So the hot winds, it is called as Loo. Okay, so this hot winds blow towards the states of Uttar Pradesh and Delhi. Okay, Uttar Pradesh and Delhi, increasing their summer temperature. So in summer, these places also, Uttar Pradesh and Delhi also will be very hot because they receive the hot winds which is blowing from this desert region. Okay, so this makes the states the temperature will be high in these states. Okay, in the summer season. In winter, the days are pleasant, but the nights become very cold. The nights are very cold because the sand loses it cools down quickly when the sun sets, is it? And the temperature decreases. So the nights are very cold here, but the days are too hot. Okay, so the climate is very hot and dry in the desert region. Okay, and they have received only less rainfall also. So this is about the climatic conditions. So now we will see about the vegetation. So what are the plants grown in this desert region? As there is less rainfall, not much plants can be grown in this desert region, right, no children? Because if you want to grow more plants and crops, we need such type of water facilities also, because in this desert region it receives only less rainfall, and we can find only few water sources in some places, is it? So we can find only water sources in some places, not in all places, is it? The climate is very hot and dry here, and it receives only less rainfall. Because of this also, there are only little vegetation in this region. Okay, so there is always a shortage of water in desert areas. So there are very few less vegetation here. So what type of plants are grown in this region are? It is scattered bushes and thorny shrubs are found here. So scattered bushes and thorny shrubs are the types of plants or shrubs which are grown in this type of region. So these plants can withstand the climate of a very hot climate, extreme heat of this region. Okay, and they can live without water also. Okay, for more days. Okay, so these type of plants are grown in this. We can find in this region are scattered bushes and thorny shrubs. So which are the plants? It is cactus, caker, babul, kale. So these are some of the trees which are grown in this desert region. Okay. So the desert features. So what are they? The trees have long roots which go deep into the soil in search of water. Okay, the plants and trees which are grown in this desert region, they will be having long roots. Okay, these long roots will go deep into the ground in search of water. Okay, so the trees have long roots which go deep into the ground in search of water, and some trees have thick bark. Okay, the trees have thick bark to prevent loss of moisture. Okay, to prevent the loss of moisture, the trees have thick bark, and also the small and waxy leaves. Okay, small and waxy leaves, and they have thorn type. As I told you, this cactus plant, you all have seen the cactus plant, right, my children? So we have thorns. It has thorns in it, not leaves. Okay, so small and waxy leaves help in conserving water. Okay, waxy leaves, they have the waxy leaves to conserve water, and some plants have thorns which reduces the excess loss of moisture. Okay, instead of leaves, they have thorns. This reduces the excess of moisture. Okay, they store water in this thorny type. Okay, these type of plants. And there is also soil erosion as the land is dry and there is absence of vegetation. As there is soil erosion, because this hot and dry winds blow, even the soil, take out the soil from one place to another, is it? So this, therefore there is soil erosion and the area is dry because there is the absence. So this is the absence of vegetation. Okay, so this results in the formation of sand dunes which keep shifting and destroy cultivable land. Okay, so this cultivable land is destroyed because of the soil erosion. The hot and dry winds which blow, they carry along with them the sand, is it? They carry along with them sand from one place to another, and they form a hill of sand which are called as sand dunes. So they carry the cultivable soil along with them, which makes the land infertile. So this is also the reason of the little vegetation. So in this type of region, there is not much vegetation because of the scarcity of rainfall. There is only little rainfall they receive, and in only some places we can find the water sources. Okay, so there is little vegetation here, and some of the plants or trees grown in this region are scattered bushes and thorny shrubs like cactus, caker, bubble, cave, and even date, palms. All these trees can be grown in this region, which are suitable to grow in this type of climatic region. Okay, so this was about the vegetation of the western desert. So next we move on to the population and occupation of the people living in this desert region. So this I am going to teach you in the next class. Okay children, so I am going to continue the same lesson in the next class. So we are going to learn about the people and the occupation of this desert region. Okay, so here I am going to end the session now. Okay children, thank you.